President Bola Tinubu's economic team uncoordinated and suffering economic illiteracy, says ex-presidential candidate Adebayo. Welcome to Naija Anchor News. Today we are discussing the claims made by Prince Adewole Adebayo, a former presidential candidate of the Social Democratic Party, SDP, who has criticized President Bola Tinubu's economic team for what he describes as economic illiteracy and a lack of coordination in their policies. Adebayo expressed various issues, from Nigeria's external borrowing to the unrealistic exchange rates and policies that in his view are failing the nation. He also spoke on the government's inability to generate capital internally and how their fiscal policies might be driving the country toward deeper economic crisis. As we dive into this, it's clear that Adebayo's criticisms go beyond just technical economic terms. They represent a larger frustration with what many believe is a lack of practical and strategic leadership in managing the country's economy. While some may argue that the government is trying its best under difficult circumstances, Adebayo suggests that the current path is unsustainable and the contradictions in their policies may only worsen Nigeria's economic challenges. Adebayo criticized Nigeria's finance minister for celebrating the country's external borrowing, particularly the issuance of Eurobonds, as a good day for the country. He emphasized that while borrowing is a normal practice for governments worldwide, borrowing from foreign currencies, particularly in a country like Nigeria, signals a crisis rather than prosperity. According to Adebayo, the economy should be self-sustaining and borrowing from international markets should not be celebrated as a victory. He also expressed concern about the unrealistic exchange rates fixed by the government, which in his view reflect a broader economic mismanagement. The parameters are a bit basic and elementary, Adebayo noted, adding that even these basic parameters are not being followed sincerely by the government. He questioned the government's strategy of trying to control inflation with targets like 15% inflation, when according to Adebayo, inflation rates should ideally be in the single digits for a healthy economy. In his critique, Adebayo argued that the administration is uncoordinated in its economic policies, pointing out the contradiction between efforts to reduce inflation, while at the same time failing to provide job opportunities for millions of Nigerians. He highlighted the government's plan to distribute 50,000 naira to small enterprises, questioning the effectiveness of such a minimal intervention in growing the economy or reducing unemployment. Adebayo's frustration stems from what he believes is a lack of practical, sustainable solutions and the continued reliance on ineffective measures that do not address Nigeria's deeper economic challenges. It's hard not to sympathize with Adebayo's concerns. While borrowing isn't inherently bad, the way Nigeria has been handling its finances in recent years raises eyebrows. The government's fiscal policies do seem overly reliant on borrowing and external capital, rather than fostering homegrown solutions. The point about inflation and unemployment is particularly interesting, and there's a clear contradiction between these two goals. For those of us watching from the sidelines, it feels like the government is trying to patch up a sinking ship without addressing the root cause of the leaks. Now, the question is, do you agree with Prince Adewole Adebayo that Nigeria's economic team is uncoordinated and suffering from economic illiteracy, or do you believe they are taking the right steps under the current circumstances? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below and do stay tuned to Naija Anchor News for more updates.